Hello and welcome. This is Krista from the Online Selling Show, and I just want to do another brief video. I mentioned in some of my preparing for Q4 about some of the things that I'm doing to make sure that my business, because I mentioned before, I'm in primarily a wholesale business model, and I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm looking to set a second business up to be there for like a retirement income and more going back to the hobby business and going into just being on eBay. But right now, I'm still doing this wholesale business model. It has taken off. It is like crazy busy right now. And I said before that as things come up, I probably would post some more updates. And one of the things, we're in the beginning of October. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, but I'm having to start thinking now about what's coming up. And I just said to my husband, I said, what's your thoughts on going to this restaurant? It's a very nice restaurant. The first time we went there was this past spring, and we really enjoyed it. And I said, what's your thoughts about going there for Thanksgiving? And he looked at me, and I had to talk it through with him. And he thought about it. He goes, that's something to think about. And I just say this in this example is that during this business, as things get busy for you during the holidays, you may have to just take some things and really stop and think about them in regards to what is the real enjoyment in it, what's the real purpose in it. And when I had to lay this out to my husband, typically we've either done one of two things. We've either went to his sister's and spent pretty much the later part of the afternoon into the evening with her cooking a meal. We tend to bring part of the meal with us, and she is about a good 40 minutes of a drive from us, maybe half hour to 40 minutes. And then we get there, and I always feel bad because she's got to get up really early the next day for the job that she's in retail for. And I feel bad, how much cleaning can I help her do and that kind of stuff. And like I said, some of the years, like last year, she was doing something, it just wasn't going to happen. And we had a really good friend of ours coming from out of town back to spend the holiday with his father. And we said, you know what? We're cooking the meal. Come on over. We'd love to spend the day with you. And we did. We spent the day with this friend and his father, and it was a beautiful, great day. But in this example, it was a lot of time back and forth. My husband did most of the cooking. I was there as secondary for that. And, we were working some of the business, but still having to be there, having to get the house ready and getting it clean for them to come. And I said to my husband about this, and he's like, first of all, he was kind of like, well, that's going to be a distance away. I said, well, realistically, and it is, it's only like another 5 minutes past his sister's house. I said, if we were to go to your sister's, we would be there for 8 hours or something like that. So if we did this with the restaurant, it's not much further, and we would actually be home probably much earlier. I would be more than happy to invite them to join us. I don't know what, like I said, for them and the way that their lifestyle is, sometimes they like to just decompress on that holiday, which is why sometimes we've gone, sometimes we haven't, and I respect that. Trust me. The business I have, I respect that. But I just say sometimes you might just think these things a little bit differently. I also said to my husband, because my son doesn't eat turkey, and I said, at least if we went to the restaurant, everybody could kind of order what they want to get. And his thing was like, well, they may have a limited menu. I said, well, maybe they will, but we won't know unless we call. And I said to him, reach out to your friend now. Start to investigate. Is he looking to come? I would be more than happy. Let's take them with us. So he's like, you know what? It was a different thought to him. Some of the other things that we've done that was another way of thinking of something different was for us and how we handled meeting with family and Christmas. My husband's family has been from this area that we're in and then moved about 5 hours away. Those things have changed and evolved as how we spend Christmas or the holidays. We don't see them now. My mother-in-law has passed away very unexpectedly. I want to say it's been 13 years now. And, things have changed. My father-in-law's in his mid to late 80s. He's not traveling. So things kind of had to change and evolve. And one of the things that we've really gotten to that point is by Christmas Day, we are beat. but we still wanted that, how do I see my family? And we just evolved it into, we will go on Christmas Eve, because honestly, by the time mid-afternoon comes, they've already picked up all the mail. Nobody's looking that they're going to get anything they're buying from us by Christmas at that point. So, usually we've cut Christmas Eve off very early. We would go and either, go see everything with my family and then do like a midnight mass, or we would go to church and then go see my family thereafter. And that would give us the chance where we could sit there and not have any pressure. We would just have the food and the exchanging of gifts and everything else with my family. My son would get to spend time with, like seeing my parents and his two cousins and stuff. So we just had to change and evolve, because the point of Christmas for me was I, could see my family, I could do all that, but it didn't have to be on Christmas Day. They weren't coming over to our house because of various different other reasons for that. So this just made the most sense, and it worked out great. So look at some of the things that you've done, some of the things that become contentious or become very anxiety-ridden for you, and then say to yourself, is there a different way to think about this? Is there something else? Because I've done, buffets. My mother's done buffets for, let's say, Thanksgiving, and for her, she says it's easier for her to make things, put it in the freezer, so that on that day she just has it defrosted and she just heats it up. There's just other thinking of how you can fit in this new eBay endeavor, because if you want to be very successful of it, honestly, Christmas is going to probably be one of the busiest seasons for you. There are some that are not going to see it being very busy for them, but maybe this falls at another time of the year where it's going to be something else that's going to be a pressure for you. Maybe it's your kids in this soccer tournament, and it happens to be the same time when your busy season's at, and they want you to go away and spend these 2 days there. Think about it just in a little bit of a different method. How can you make everybody happy? What is the important aspects of where those events are that are occurring? Maybe you don't have to be there for the full 2 days. Maybe you spend part of it there and the grandparents spend part of it there, and the kids just happy to have somebody there. Maybe you do spend those days and you just put the store on vacation. Prioritize out the aspects, but then think about, is there some other way to meet that need that doesn't necessarily have to be the same way that you've been handling it? So I hope this gives you some idea, or maybe some way of thinking of things for yourself. And I would appreciate any comments below. Does this help in any way? Is there any ideas or the ways that you've had to rethink some things? I would appreciate a thumbs up if you are getting inspiration out of this, and I would catch you on the next one. See ya.